Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. Today is Saturday the 17th of September. I'm Brogan and I'm with Mike.
Hello.
And Julian.
Hello.
Alright.
Yeah, before we start, very quickly, thanks for all the feedback. We're making improvements to the channel every day, every week. It's not financial advice. I'm with Julian. How's your week been?
Very good. Yeah, busy.
Yeah,
Had a very busy week.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you exactly what I filled my time doing.
No,
I learnt a bit about this stuff.
Did
video
you?
editing and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's true, you did.
Yeah, so
For
I've
your
gone
shorts.
from 0 to about 4 or 5 on the scale of 100. But
what about you, Brogan?
What have we done this week?
Yes.
School
a lot
work.
of work. Yeah, a lot of college work, yeah. Went to the vets with dog.
That's true, our dog is poorly.
Oh dear.
So she's had to have an operation.
Better now?
She is. She is.
Yeah.
It'll take her a few days and then she'll be
Bank
back to normal.
balance struggling a little bit as a result?
Bit of a strain.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Strain.
Expensive, these vets, aren't they?
Yeah.
Especially this vet in
Or
particular.
veterinaries, as I like to call them. Used to
Veterinaries.
love that show. All
Veterinaries.
Creatures Great and Small.
Good.
Loved it. Yeah.
Right, first topic.
Veterinary. Yeah, I loved it.
First topic. Let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin
Yeah.
price, please, Brogan.
So the current price right now is $19,888. Hasn't really moved much at all. So like in a day, it's been around 19,500 to 800. 7 day it was at 22,500 earlier in the week, but it's gone down.
Then the CPI number came out.
Yeah.
It was higher than expected. So we've dropped a little bit. 19,800 is now resistance. If we don't break that and go up, then we're likely to go down below 19,000.
Yeah. What happened with the US inflation then?
It was 0.2% higher than it should be.
So that negated the UK's slight decrease.
Yeah, exactly. So on a more positive note, Ethereum, we had the merge on Thursday.
Yeah.
Which was the day after our live stream, and somebody's put together a very clever,
Very nice app.
very nice
Very
app.
nice looking as well. It looks very, very fancy.
Yeah. And this shows you the difference already between proof of work and
And
proof of stake.
Yep.
So if you can show the first one,
Yep.
which is, so since Thursday morning, with Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so in 3 days, you can see the difference between the amount of Ethereum made through the proof of staking system and the amount of Ethereum that would have been made through proof of work.
Yep. So this is like the supply
Yeah.
since the merge, and there's a graph here which also shows you. But
It's up there, Julian.
Yeah, but I'm going to have to turn my back then on everybody.
That's all right. You can have a quick peek
Is it?
to see it. Unless you've got a very stiff neck.
so if we toggle the proof of work simulation,
Yep.
you can see if we kept on going with proof of work and we didn't switch, we'd have 26,533 more Ethereum in the supply
Correct.
than we would have right now. You see the graph here.
Yep.
So we have proof of work, how high it's going.
What other feedback does it give you? Things like energy savings and things like that? I'm all about the greens.
You are about the greens,
All about
which is
them.
good. But
Yeah.
I would. It doesn't have the energy. I mean, the energy itself, as I think it's saved about 99% of
Yeah.
all energy consumption.
It would have been nice, though,
Yeah.
for it to have that.
It would.
I know it doesn't, but as a suggestion,
It
because
would.
they'll be watching this,
They
I
will.
would suggest that they put that toggle on there, because for people like me that aren't into technical stuff,
Yeah.
but are into the environments,
Well, we're going to get onto that when we talk about Doge, because there's something very important to talk about there with the greens and the wokes. Now, this is the supply.
Right.
Now, in a year, we had 4 or 5% inflation in Ethereum.
Yeah.
So there was, I can't remember how many, 600,000 extra, 100. I think inflation now is 100,000 Ethereum a year.
Right.
And that's on a total supply of about 100. Is it 120 million? Something like that.
Percentage-wise, very, very small.
Very, very small. So, although the price has dropped, which is normally because you've got the, buy the rumour, sell the news.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's done.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in the next few months is people are going to realise that readily available tap of Ethereum has gone.
Yeah.
Now, yes, we have other problems with proof of stake, and you've got people like Lido who have got a very large amount of Ethereum. So, there's...
Who are Lido?
They're a staking provider. So they're a validator for Ethereum, but they have an awful lot of Ethereum staked. And what happens with proof of stake is the people that hold the most Ethereum have the biggest sway.
Okay, yeah, understood.
Now, with proof of work, you don't get that.
Yeah.
So there is an argument, mainly by Bitcoin maxis, that moving to proof of stake actually centralizes control of a network.
Yeah.
And Solana was accused of this when it first started.
Is that not a fair accusation? Because I can see the point.
It's a spot-on accusation.
Yeah.
And one of the articles that we were going to talk about this week was Gensler. Is it called Gary Gensler?
Don't know.
Head of the SEC in America, the Securities and Exchange Commission. Yeah. He's pointed out that, he's suggested that all proof-of-stake crypto assets are securities.
Yeah.
Now, what's happened is you've really got Bitcoin, proof of work, Dogecoin, which we'll talk about as proof of work. Everything else is, not everything, but the majority of new crypto assets are proof of stake. So what I think he's saying now is that basically everything other than Bitcoin is proof of stake, therefore a security. So there's all kinds of problems that are potentially going to come up for Ethereum. But getting back to the chart, what this shows us is there's pretty much zero inflation, and the more and more adoption it gets, the more and more people who buy Ethereum has basically become a finite asset like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And that causes a supply shock, which I think we're going to see, not now, but maybe in 6 to 12 months' time, hopefully.
So yeah, I'd like to see that. My Crypto.com account, I'd really like to see it.
Well, now we're on to Word of the Bird, which is your comment of the week, really.
Yeah, have we got the slide up there?
We have it up now, yes.
Yeah.
So it might take a bit of time to put on the TV, but yes,
yeah,
we
this
do.
is Liz Truss again. Yeah. Becoming one of my favourite people in the world.
You are becoming a trust spotter.
We need a terminology, like a Bieber.
Yeah.
I don't like Trusser. There's something not quite right about that. But we
Trustifarian.
Trustifarian, I kind of like that, yeah. But yeah, and her body language. Have you seen anything, particularly where she rolled out to actually give her acceptance speech, if that's what you want to call it, at number 10?
Oh yeah.
Her arms don't move.
No.
It's like she were in a straitjacket.
Do you remember Thunderbirds?
Yeah.
Was it Lady Penelope?
Yeah. She had that same sort of gait.
Yeah. As if she's on strings. As if she's a puppet.
Yeah. But there are no strings on her arms.
No.
They're just there.
Yeah.
It's really bad. So I did a bit of research about it, body language.
Did you?
I did, yeah. And it means two things for her. Either massively, massively stressed and nervous, thinking that's where it probably is.
Yeah.
Because I've seen her walk before. Her arms do move. Or she's got the onsets of some sort of brain disease.
Really?
Yeah. Motor neurons or something like that, I think.
Well, I know Biden's been accused of having Parkinson's, is it?
Yeah.
Or Alzheimer's? I can't remember which. She's been accused of it. But yeah, I mean, she's...
I don't think it is that, by the way. I think it's purely the stress, I would imagine.
Yeah.
She has odd gait.
Yeah.
Doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
So, yeah,
Is it up there? Yeah, look
It
there.
is there.
I mean, yeah, that don't look good, does it? I mean, that hat now makes her look like a witch as well.
No. The only thing I would say about her is her and Rishi are both pro-crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that she she lasts a few years to pass the laws that we need to get
Yeah.
crypto adopted, which
Yeah.
again we're going to look at today.
Yeah.
funnily
Mm.
enough.
Do we know any views of the other fellow that were in the picture there, the Kia Ceed?
No.
He hasn't
It
got
was-
any views on much,
No,
has he? Really?
She mentioned that the UK needs to look at adopting cryptocurrencies. Rishi went a little bit further
Yeah.
in his speeches, but she's pro crypto. I think, being a Tory, she is pro business
Yeah.
and pro profit making. So I think Bank of England are looking at CBDCs, and we'll definitely be looking at crypto in a positive light. We're not going to be looking to ban it. Now, this is the one I actually did a short about yesterday, which is Dogecoin.
Mm.
And can you just basically run us through the
Yeah,
article?
all right. So Dogecoin becomes second largest proof of work cryptocurrency. So following the Ethereum merge, Dogecoin now only trails Bitcoin as the biggest proof of work cryptocurrency. So meme-inspired cryptocurrency Dogecoin, or Doge, is now officially the second largest proof of work crypto in terms of market cap.
Yes, Julian.
What's a meme coin?
So a meme coin is a coin which doesn't really have anything, behind it, but it's like something where people are aware of it on the internet, and then people pick it up and go, "Ha, this is funny,"
Yeah.
and then they boost it.
So
And what value has this thing got? 'Cause
do you know what a meme is?
yeah, I know
Right,
what I mean.
okay.
It's like a visual joke.
So it's a joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dogecoin.
Well, a meme coin is a joke coin.
Yeah.
So it's created without a project behind it, as in a reason to exist, if you
Yeah.
like. There's no reason for it to exist other than it's a picture of is it a Shiba Inu?
Yeah, Shiba Inu,
You
yeah.
know, the little
Dog.
cute dog. Now, because
We're
it's
losing viewers, you do realise that, by the 100 on this. This doesn't make
it,
sense.
it makes perfect sense.
It doesn't. How can you have a currency that has no backing or value to it? Well, it has a value.
Because
Because other people
it
invest in it.
all comes back to one word: adoption. Now, Bitcoin.
Can
was
you
a-
use this thing for anything?
This is what I'm going to get to.
Money.
This is what I'm
Ponzi.
going to get to. When Bitcoin started,
Yeah.
it didn't have a use case.
Yeah.
They wanted it to be a cryptocurrency, a currency you could use. That's what
Yeah.
they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Satoshi didn't. He wanted it as a store of value, which was an inflation hedge.
So I'm seeing Bitcoin purely like gold.
Correct.
Yep.
Now, if you go back 12 years
Yeah.
and remember Pizza Day, where the guy said on an internet forum, he said, "Can anybody buy me a pizza, or 2 pizzas, I think it was, for 10,000 Bitcoin?"
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Okay.
Most expensive pizza in the world.
Correct. Now, the second that transaction went through, Bitcoin had a use case,
Yes.
and it was adopted as a method of currency for buying 2 pizzas.
Right.
Now, although Doge is a meme coin, it's about the 9th or the 11th biggest cryptocurrency in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
It has been adopted by Elon Musk
Right.
and Tesla. So,
Right.
for example, you can use Doge to buy accessories for Teslas.
Yeah.
So is it a Doge? Is it a meme coin anymore then? No, surely is the answer.
No, it's the original meme coin that now has adoption and now has a use case.
So it needs to get rid of that tag, surely.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
And the other thing that people forget is that Doge is actually a fork, so it's a split from the original Bitcoin.
Yep.
So Doge is
okay.
based on the Bitcoin,
Program.
which is why it's proof of work.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so although it's the OG meme coin, it actually now has adoption
Yeah.
and use case.
So when it got set up, did it have any affiliation with Elon at all?
No,
Right.
he just liked it because it was a meme coin.
Yeah, he thought it was funny and then everyone bought it.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But then if you look into the background of it, and obviously you realise that it's got the same structure as Bitcoin, it is actually, it's the blockchain itself
Yeah.
is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's just that it has a picture of a small dog on the coin.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Basically. So back to the article now. So this news of Dogecoin being now the second largest proof of
second.
work cryptocurrency.
Yep.
It wasn't taken well by everyone. One Twitter user responding to a tweet about the news asked how people could take the crypto industry seriously with a meme coin so close to the top spot, emphasizing the need to remove useless coins from public view. Ethereum's transition to proof of stake may have added pressure on proof of work powered cryptocurrency networks to transition to a more sustainable consensus mechanism. He added that reluctance to carry out its own transition to proof of stake will be huge. The Dogecoin Foundation has been considering a transition of Dogecoin to a proof of stake after first hinting at the shift in September 2021. Such a version will allow all Dogecoin users to stake their Doge and get extra tokens for supporting the network, the Dogecoin Foundation said. So, yeah. Well, as we've discussed, considering it a meme coin may not be most applicable to it, because now it has some use, and you can actually use it to exchange things.
Is anybody else going to accept it as well as Tesla?
Nobody's mentioned it.
Right.
But it is acceptable. If you're a Starbucks or you're a McDonald's, you're not going to accept Bitcoin on its own. You're going to accept any cryptocurrency.
Yeah, suite of cryptos.
Correct. So I'd expect you to be able to spend Ethereum, Bitcoin, Doge, Matic, whatever, through that. So I don't think you need to pick one or the other. But this raises a very important point that, let's say, for example, Doge does move to proof of stake. That will then kill the miners producing Dogecoin. Yep. Those miners will go and mine another coin, Raven coin or whatever else. Raven coin's being mined now instead of Ethereum, or Ethereum Classic, whatever. But the issue now is that Bitcoin has a huge target on its head. Yeah. Because it's really the only proof of work coin there is. Yeah. And for the environmentalists, they're going to want, governments don't want Bitcoin because you can't censor it. The environmentalists won't want Bitcoin because it's killing the environment when it's not. If you look at Mind Your Biz, he talks about the fact of moving Bitcoin machines to, oil platforms, whatever. So when they do their flaring, which burns the gas, you can actually power the Bitcoin machines at source. Yeah. You can look at renewable energy. And Bitcoin has moved an awful lot towards renewable energy. And because of the value of Bitcoin, it's actually helping the environment by making people build environmentally friendly ways to make energy. Geothermal, volcanic, solar, wind, whatever. So as long as Bitcoin keeps that momentum up, it's very difficult for the environmentalists to go after Bitcoin. But the people that go after Bitcoin are the press, because it's an easy target. Yeah. Bitcoin's bad for the environment. Yeah. And as for Dogecoin, it was actually, I think Elon Musk has actually sat down with Dogecoin to talk about the fact that we can move this to proof of stake. And, every time a coin moves from proof of work to proof of stake, those miners, not all of them are going to go and mine another coin. Sometimes it's going to be unprofitable, and they'll just turn the machines off. Yeah. Like, for example, now, I believe the price of graphics cards have plummeted because you don't need them to mine Ethereum anymore. So we're moving, when I say we're moving slowly in crypto terms. Yeah. When in fact, in reality, we're moving incredibly quickly. Exactly.
Yeah. So do you think Bitcoin will ever change?
I think it's going to be under a lot of pressure to move to a sustainable way of generating the electricity.
What if it can't do that? Does it then have to change its ethos?
Bitcoin is never going to become proof of stake. Yeah. I'll put that on record.
Wow. Big statement, though.
Big statement. Huge. It would kill Bitcoin and kill the entire cryptocurrency. Crypto asset industry would be dead because it's uncensorable as it is. Yeah. You move it to proof of stake. Yeah. You buy 3 million, 4 million, 5 million Bitcoin, and suddenly you have a really large share of the network, and you can then start to bend it to your will. Yeah. At the minute, you can't do that. Yeah. So I don't think it will ever happen.
No.
Right. Now, this is some positive news for the UK, which is to do with adoption and usage of cryptocurrencies.
Yep. So here's why the US and the UK are the only high income in the crypto adoption top 20. So, using grassroots approach, the index compiles a list of 146 ranked countries. So according to this list of ranked countries, it focuses on the location. So this list focuses on the location where the money is most spent. It also shows which countries have the most retail investors and non-professionals adopting digital assets. In the second quarter of 2021, global crypto adoption reached an all-time high. In quarter four, when prices reached new highs, only to fall again in the two most recent quarters, it implies that long-term cryptocurrency investors have remained invested throughout the downturn. The top 3.5 of the top 20 countries have lower middle incomes. 8 are upper middle income countries, with the United States and the United Kingdom being the only high income countries. One of the main reasons many countries encourage individuals to investing in cryptocurrencies is not a desire for the underlying cryptocurrency, but rather capital controls that allow it to be traded. The United Kingdom is ranked 17th worldwide for crypto adoption, up 4 places from 2021. Apart from the United States, which ranks 5th, it is the only high-income country in the top 20. The United Kingdom is the only significant European economy that has seen an increase in crypto adoption since the beginning of the year. The UK leads the world in cryptocurrency adoption due to top financial institutions, a thriving financial technology industry, and the weakening pound. The United States is among the top 20 countries in cryptocurrency adoption because it has the world's largest capital market, the best financial institutions, and the most advanced technology. So,
Quite interesting,
there.
huh?
It is. If you look at, as Brogan said, the financial markets, you've really got the Nikkei in Japan, the FTSE in the UK,
Yeah,
and then Nasdaq, Dow Jones in America.
yeah.
So the money follows the exchanges. In Europe, obviously, we've got the biggest volume exchange, but we've also probably got the most democratic, free-flowing financial system there is.
Yeah,
And if you look at, for example, currency exchanges, they tend to be done mainly in America and the UK.
mm-hmm.
So crypto is another asset stroke currency. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But if you look at places like Canada, for example, Trudeau came out and said that
Yeah, I saw that.
you shouldn't be buying cryptocurrencies to beat inflation. You know, show me you know nothing about crypto, buy. Show me nothing about crypto. So I think we have a history of being very early adopters to technology, to innovation. You know, we've got thousands of entrepreneurs, small businesses. So we're used to adapting to these things. Whereas other countries are a little bit more, they want a little bit more control
Yeah,
over their financial markets and citizens and things like that. So it doesn't. It actually surprises me that we're 17th and not
higher.
top 10.
Yeah,
I would have expected us to have been 8th, 9th, 10th.
but I think that's going to come.
I think so as well.
Even like mainstream media now, recently, I think there's been a lot more programs talking about it.
Yeah.
Once that happens, then I think you'll get a lot more people asking, what is this?
Yeah.
But like you say, financially UK, looking at buying things and stocks and shares and stuff, it already exists as a mentality.
Yeah. I mean, there's a big tie between the UK and America.
Yeah,
You know, if you look at like the Robin Hoods and the Revoluts and people like that, we do share. We've got quite a common English-speaking market
Yeah.
between the two.
yeah.
So
I bought my first crypto via Revoluts.
You did?
Yeah,
You did?
so I never owned it.
No, it was a proxy purchase,
Yes, it
not
was.
a proxy purchase.
No, it was
Proxy
proxy
purchase.
purchase.
Proxy
Yeah.
purchase. I mean, it's good news. Like we keep saying, once we have regulation in place, and once people have certainty of what the government's view is on crypto assets, taxation, things like that, once that comes in, then we're going to have a lot more money flowing into the UK and America and places like that. At the minute, I wholly understand why Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, Turkey, inflation is rampant.
Yeah.
You buy one Bitcoin today, and in a year's time, you might be able to buy 2 or 3 times your local currency by selling that Bitcoin, even if Bitcoin doesn't move in price, because their currency is, I don't know what it is. Is it about 90% in
It's
Turkey?
ridiculous, yeah, ridiculous.
So
But that's why when the UK and that they talk about volatility in this market, crypto market,
yeah,
we're comparing it to a static GBP.
yeah, exactly.
But these other countries wouldn't even be having that same conversation.
No, not at all. So, I mean, it's good news for us.
Mm.
It's great. To be fair, it's great news for all the smaller nations that have adopted Bitcoin. And legal tender is something else that will come over time. These nations that are tied to the dollar, where obviously the dollar is the global currency, but a lot of these smaller nations, they have 2 legal tenders in their countries. They have the local currency and they have the US dollar.
Yeah.
It's not a quantum leap for them to accept Bitcoin as the 3rd legal tender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And
again is why it's alien for people in UK.
Exactly.
We only have pounds. Why
Exactly.
on earth would you trade with a different currency?
Correct.
Mm.
Exactly. So good news for us. Now, this is a bit like the hokey cokey.
You what, knees bend down, stretch round, round, round?
Yeah. Exactly. Would you like to tell us about what the
Chinese are doing?
court ruling
Yeah.
has been?
Okay, so Chinese court okays trading crypto if it's considered a virtual asset. This may not be in the spirit of Beijing's many bans on blockheads. A Beijing court has ruled that locals are permitted to trade cryptocurrencies but not use them as a substitute for money. China's government banned dealing in Bitcoin in 2013 and it has extended its prohibition on using digital currencies many times since. The judges noted that China's prohibition prohibitive on using cryptocurrency as a currency, but reasoned that Litecoin can't be considered a currency because it is not issued by a monetary authority and is not supported by the legal and financial frameworks that back an actual currency. The court was, however, happy to consider Litecoin a virtual asset because China has laws governing them. Data, for example, is considered a virtual asset under local law. The possibility of legally trading cryptocurrencies, therefore, has gained a toehold in China. India, for example, has taken the position that cryptocurrencies are poor mediums of exchange, but that investors should not be prohibited from trading them. Yeah,
Okay.
interesting.
Good or
Very
bad?
good.
My gut feeling is it's good.
It's like the boy who cried wolf. If we take the hokey cokey
Yeah,
and we turn it around and leave it over there for a minute,
yeah,
China's banned crypto as many times as crypto has died.
yeah,
So in the past, when China has said, we're banning crypto, it had a huge impact on the market.
yeah,
But each time they've banned it, it's had less and less of an impact
yeah,
on the market. And the biggest recent impact was when they banned the mining of Bitcoin. The reason they did that was it was killing the power grid in
Yeah.
China. So
Yeah.
everybody moved over to, was it Kazakhstan, America, and Ireland, or something like that? There was a few countries they moved the miners to. This is big news in terms of the purchasing power
yeah,
of the Chinese population.
Mm.
But because China has cried wolf so many times, it's had no effect. We're also in a bear market. Nothing. I mean, Fidelity should have moved the market last week, and it didn't.
yeah.
We're in a bear market, and it's had no impact.
When we say a judge has made this decision, is there a concern that the judge now may disappear? Or is this actually a judge that's backed?
Do you know we purposely refrain ourselves from mentioning conspiracy theories?
Not a conspiracy theory.
Because
it's-
Julian doesn't like them.
No,
He
it's a
doesn't-
genuine concern for the judge in question.
So do you think the judge is going to fall out of a window like they've
Have
been
a heart
doing in
attack.
Russia, or have a massive heart attack?
Yes.
Yeah, possibly, because in China you refer to previous cases.
Yeah,
This has set the precedent.
correct.
So now further cases that come along
We're
will
going to have to
refer-
follow this
correct.
judge of justice.
Yeah, unless the Chinese government turn around and say no.
Yeah,
Now, the other interesting thing about is the Chinese government and Russia have been in discussions about using the Chinese and Russian currencies to trade oil
Yeah.
rather than the petrodollar.
yeah,
the American dollar is called the petrodollar for the exchange of oil. But what would happen if they started to accept Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever other currency it might be? So the Chinese government are allowed to use cryptocurrency for trading with Russia, but their population aren't allowed. And the reason it's not being allowed to be used for the purchase of goods is it removes the control of China over its local currency.
Yeah.
That's why they've got their own government-backed digital currency.
Yeah.
So it is good news, but on the other hand, the boy who cried wolf. This is the 500th time China and cryptocurrency have been mentioned, and it literally doesn't affect anybody.
Yeah.
If you're in China, and you want to own cryptocurrency, you will have it in your private wallet anyway.
Yeah.
So this just now means that maybe some of those exchanges that were kicked out of China
Might come back to life.
might come back to life. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Now we have the
White House. Yeah.
White House party.
So, White House releases first crypto regulatory framework. Here's what you need to know. So, it highlighted the need for protecting consumers, preventing crypto-related crime, and maintaining the country's standing as a global financial powerhouse. The move follows President Biden's executive order on ensuring responsible development of digital assets signed in March. A White House statement detailed how multiple government agencies had come together and would seek to oversee the growth of the digital asset space. Through neither the SEC nor the CFTC has total oversight over the space today, the SEC has been keeping a particularly close eye on the crypto market, with the agency's chair, Gary Gensler, reiterating this week that he believes most digital assets should be classified as securities. President Biden may establish a framework to regulate non-bank payment providers, saying agencies would align global payment practices, regulations, and supervision protocols while exploring new multilateral platforms that integrate instant payment systems. The statement also drew attention to stablecoins, saying that the intertwining of digital assets and traditional finance services can have spillover effects and disruptive runs. The government has encouraged the Treasury and other agencies to provide guidance and assistance to US companies working on new financial technology. The administration has made it clear that it intends to combat all forms of crypto-related crime. The statement said that the government would continue to monitor crime in the sector, revealing that the Treasury would publish crime risk assessment guides on both DeFi and NFTs, respectively, dropping in February 2023 and July 2023. The government is also considering launching its own central bank digital currency. It added that the government had developed policy objectives for its US CBDC system, reflecting its key priorities for a potential digital dollar. That's all the information we have.
That's quite a long article.
It
A
is
lot
a
of
very long
information.
article, yeah.
So in short,
Yeah. I'm getting positive vibes again.
positive vibes.
Mm.
Positive vibes with a slight worry,
Which
Of
is
CBDCs.
which is the central bank digital currency,
yeah.
which is a currency issued by the
Banks.
Yeah, the banks in America.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is we need a framework so people know
It's protected
it's
against.
protected.
Yeah.
The Gary Gensler, the SEC is securities, and then what was it?
CBTC, something like that.
Yeah, so you've got commodities
Yeah.
CFTC.
and you've got securities. Gary Gensler saying that digital assets are all securities, so he keeps control over them. Whereas the other side of this is you could see some of them as commodities. So Bitcoin, if it's like digital gold, it's a commodity
Yeah.
and therefore doesn't fall under him.
Yeah.
So he's just trying to build his fiefdom to control cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to try and vest away some of his powers and give them to different departments, because he has spent 3 years in court with XRP. He won't issue an ETF, as in an ETF is basically a fund that buys and sells Bitcoin.
Yeah.
He won't issue one of them, and there's been 20, 30 applications. So he is actually hindering the adoption of cryptocurrency, because as soon as an ETF is issued, that's a publicly traded fund that blue chip companies can buy and hold. At the minute, they have to buy Tesla, or they have to buy MicroStrategy and have proxy holdings in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So that's my negative, is he's just trying to keep control. The positive is you've got the UK and American governments both trying to bring in a framework that protects people, but still allowing for cryptocurrencies to exist. So that's the positive for me.
Yeah.
The feel I get is that they've got to get to this point. They know they've got to get to this point. They're just trying to hold back the tide while they get their heads around it and actually put in a framework.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think?
I think it's a good thing. I think it's really good for the adoption of the public for crypto. For people who aren't well versed in, the internet, and getting, I'm not too sure what it covers, this framework, but I assume it's, it's just a general protection of people in crypto. So I think it's really good for, larger adoption of crypto.
I think if you couple this with, I keep hitting the microphone.
You're pulling the cable, you're doing everything, you hit your mic, you hit your
I
camera.
look like I'm on a boat. If you couple this with the BlackRock Coinbase partnership and the Fidelity partnership with whoever they're dealing with, there's 3 or 4 of them that are going to build their own platform for this. We need people to be able to go to an app or a computer and press a button that says buy Bitcoin. And they buy £100 worth of Bitcoin, and it sits there with their Shell stock and their Microsoft stock and everything else. And that's how it needs to be for 99% of the population.
Like an eToro mix-in.
An eToro, Robinhood, Revolut, Vanguard type system.
Just make it as easy as everything else. Make it like it's everything else.
Right. So people like approval, don't they?
Exactly.
They love things that have got a stamp on them.
Yeah.
I watched a thing the other day, actually, quite topical, this, about, I think it was Dulux Crown Paints.
Oh, yeah.
Crown Paints are now worried because they've got a little gap whereby they've actually lost, in theory, their royal warrant.
Of course.
So they're now applying for their new royal warrant with the new king, because people perceive that product is good enough to be used in Buckingham Palace. So it's good enough to paint my spare room. Wow. That's how people work.
Cool.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy B&Q's own brand.
No.
I'm going to buy the one that the king uses.
Charlie's
this is exactly the same, isn't it?
Then you feel like you're like, oh, I'm using something the king uses.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know that.
If it has a royal approval.
Approval by a trusted third party is going to bring this on. And the government's doing that.
Yeah.
Can only be a good thing in my mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Now, this is more in the... what is Brogan? He's not a boomer. We're boomers. What is he? Is he Gen X?
Boomer?
I don't know. Are you?
What we
Am
are.
I a boomer? I don't consider myself a boomer.
Boomers are old people.
Or
like old people.
You might be Gen Z. You might be Gen Z.
Maybe.
Their age groups are Gen Z.
Yeah, this is where we get to grill Brogan about...
I can actually talk about this now.
With games.
Right.
This is a good article.
Start of the podcast, I was kind of just idling here, but now I can actually give my 2 cents on this properly. But I'll read up all the information, and you can ask questions and whatever.
Okay.
So, gamers want fun, not a grind fest for tokens.
Just say what a grind fest is for Julian.
Okay, so basically, there's games like MMOs and things like that.
Again, what's an MMO?
A big online game.
So it's big online game.
Massive multiplayer online, it stands for.
Okay.
So a lot of people do play this game, right? So there's some genres of games where it's like you need to play the game. You need to do the same thing over and over again in order to either get enough of something to earn a reward, like a big
You
reward.
used to buy your bags of Quavers and bags of Walker's Crisps.
Yeah.
And you needed...
And snaps.
Snaps. And you'd have your little tiny token on the back of the bag.
Yeah.
And you'd need to collect 100 of them to get a Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
Right. You were grinding...
Gotcha.
those crisps literally in your mouth.
Yeah.
Whereas what Brogan's talking about is a game, which I'll let him carry on with.
Yeah.
So the grinding is you have to basically save up.
Like Cliff Thorburn was known as the grinder.
He was.
Because it took him so long
The
to
slowest,
win.
the slowest 147 in history.
Yeah, but he got there eventually,
He
and that's
did.
what you're saying. You've got to
Yeah.
do the
You
grind.
got to do it consistently and constantly.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then you get there and you get something reward. So, Animoca subsidiary. I don't know what that is.
Animoca.
Animoca
So
subsidiary.
yeah, Animoca bought an Australian company, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Luke Sille.
I purposely find articles with people
With
who have
dodgy
surnames
names.
that are unpronounceable.
I call him Silly or something.
I'm going to
Okay.
find a Polish crypto website and do that, Polish to English,
Yeah.
but it keeps the surnames the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
So for next Saturday, Brogan's going to have surnames that have got no vowels in
Yeah,
them.
all ending ski.
Yeah, exactly.
I call him Silly. Silly, the lead community manager at Australia-based game developer Blowfish Studios. This is a quote actually from him. You can see from a lot of other blockchain games that they're not actually fun to play. Like, yes, you have potential to earn quite a significant amount of token, and you get a good return on investment most of the time. But generally speaking, they're not that fun, right? So according to data from DAP Radar, the most popular blockchain games in terms of active users over the past 30 days are Game Meta, Alien Worlds, and Solitaire Blitz, with 1 million. Oh, this is respective. Okay, so 1,814,000 and 652,000 users.
Is that visitors or active players?
Well, it says users, so I assume it's people
Okay.
who.
It's an awful lot of users for this
Yeah.
this stage in adoption, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the problem with Web3 games is in order to make a game, you need to spend a lot of years on it, and we're getting to the point now where there are games which are being produced which are good, but like in early stages of this type of technology, a lot of the games you're going to be seeing are either easy to produce, aren't that good, or don't look good.
Yeah.
So like card games, they're not that hard to make,
Yeah.
but you can involve Web3 in it pretty easily.
Yeah.
So these are the types of games you're going to see at the start,
Yeah.
but then later on you're going to see proper
Yeah.
like Call of Duty style where you get a bounty to kill 10 players, whatever, you get some tokens or something like that.
Yeah.
So questions by the type of games that would work best with non-fungible tokens or NFTs and play-to-earn integration. Silly highlighted free-to-play giants such as Riot, League of Legends, and Epic Games' Fortnite. This leads to people who play for multiple years and happily spend money to purchase products such as new character skins.
This is what we've talked about before.
It is.
Skins as NFTs.
But what he's saying there is, actually no, I'll let you finish the article before I ask the question.
It's a very daunting thing trying to learn about this whole new technology, creating a wallet, etc. And there are so many worlds in blockchains that mean completely different things. Oh, words in blockchains that mean completely. Okay. Oh, that was it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the thing about his last comment there makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
At the minute, you have to go and make a wallet, store
Yeah.
your seed phrase somewhere,
Yeah.
you save it on your computer, for example, and you download some illegal software. It'll read your seed phrase, access your wallet, steal your NFTs.
Yeah. But we're back again to mass adoption.
Correct.
I'd like Barclays Bank to have my NFTs.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that the problem is that the early crypto adopters, who are the kind of, they're the people who believe that you should have complete control over your money,
Yeah.
and they're not the mainstream.
There's a
And
lot of
I
Baker foil there, isn't there?
I wholly understand where they're coming from. I get it, and I agree,
Because you like Baker foil.
because I like the idea of having 2 or 3 Bitcoin in a wallet that nobody can take off me. In case something happens, a new government, a right-wing government comes in, or a left-wing government comes in, and they seize your assets, or because you're from Yorkshire, they've decided to outlaw people from Yorkshire,
Yeah.
and then they seize your funds and your bank accounts because you're from Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got your Bitcoin or your Ethereum in a wallet that they can't touch, so that I understand that, and especially in America, and they're a lot more conspiratorial in America, and I get that. But for this, they need to make like a Revolut type thing.
Yeah.
So Riot or
Yeah.
Epic, they need to make a very simple wallet that people don't even know they've got.
Yeah.
And for me, once you've made that simplicity, then a big bank comes in and does exactly the same. Because
Correct.
I'm all about the crown paints.
Now, my question to Brogan is, if myself and Julian play Fortnite and we get a skin in Fortnite and we want to go and play Call of Duty and use the same skin, how would we do it? How would you see it doing? Because one's owned by Epic, the other one's owned by Blizzard.
It's not going to happen.
That's the thing. I mean, unless they work together and use the same blockchain and the same wallet system and the same metaverse, which connects together, it won't work.
It's not going to happen.
Oh, wait.
You see, you've got a thing called wormholes in crypto,
Mm.
and a wormhole
You have wrapped things on yeah.
wraps your token. So if you've got Bitcoin in your Coinbase account, but you want to send it to the, let me think of one. Let's say you want to send it to the Ethereum network
Yeah.
because you want to go and buy an IFTA.
Yeah.
You can wrap your Bitcoin, and then wrapping it means taking it off one blockchain
Yeah.
and putting it on another blockchain. Not like a Christmas present,
Yeah.
right? It wraps it in code that allows it to work on the Ethereum network. And what it actually does in effect is it puts one actual Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network here, and then takes a reflection of it here and sends it off. So it's not the real Bitcoin. The real Bitcoin always stays there.
Yeah.
They could allow
Yeah.
Epic to have its own system, Blizzard to have its own system. But
There's like a meta
correct
thing. So yeah, I mean, like another point could be if they have, like, it depends what type of wallet you use. Because if you have an Epic Games wallet and then like a Blizzard wallet, then it's going to be hard to move it around. But if you have like one wallet, like a wallet which engines, are like, isn't that like the biggest wallet for games?
So Engine is a system that's been built
Yeah.
specifically to create items in games as NFTs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody could use Engine for the NFTs and have them in this game here and this game here.
Yeah, exactly.
But they become the interoperability
Would it be there?
problem is gone because they're using Engine.
Yeah, but that's in theory. In reality, if you've got your two different gaming companies
Mhm.
and somebody sat above them with all the power,
Yeah, the game companies won't want that.
They won't
that's
want
what-
that.
That's the problem. The companies want control, but the users would want.
they want
Choose everywhere.
individual control over their games,
Yeah,
and they're never going to allow you to pass it across because that'll either mean a third party or me buying you.
You're
Yeah.
saying that, but let's take Fortnite for example.
Yeah.
Fortnite currently has, are they called seasons?
yeah, chapters and seasons.
Chapters and seasons. And they are themed.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, you'll have a Deadpool
Yeah.
one, which ties in with the film. You'll have a Halloween one, which might be tied in this year with the new, is it Monsters or Monsters TV series or whatever it's called. So there's already a precedent in place for Marvel and Epic to work together.
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing stopping Epic giving its user base Marvel NFTs.
Yeah.
And there's nothing stopping Marvel giving its users Fortnite characters.
Yeah.
So that already exists.
It does, but the two game providers never cross swords, do they?
No.
It's like having promotional things for Adidas and Nike.
But you
You
have...
can have collaborations that have probably spanned both brands,
Correct.
but never at the same time.
No.
But we're not talking about allowing... What you don't want is you don't want to bleed your user base out, right? So you don't want your Activision Call of Duty players to go and play Fortnite or
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah.
But you're going to have certain things like Call of Duty are not going to allow a character from Fortnite to run around, are they?
No.
Right. But they might allow the skin
Of the character.
of the character to be portable, because it's not, because you've also got IP rights, copyright issues and things like that. but you might not have that for the skins.
Yeah.
And like you're right, they're not going to want to lose their user base, but the user base will determine what these companies do and not vice versa.
Yeah.
Because if companies don't change, they die. I mean,
Yeah.
was it Kodak?
Yeah.
Kodak don't exist anymore.
Mm.
Why? Because they didn't make digital cameras. Fortnite and Epic have been here how long?
2 or 3 years maybe, or something like that. Maybe longer.
Maybe 5 or 6 years. They've been in.
Oh, Epic Games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, longer than that.
Yeah.
I think
So let's say they've been here for 10 years. So it's a drop in the ocean to a company like Disney.
Yeah.
So my argument is, and I don't expect you to agree with me, my argument is that if they don't adapt and a metaverse version of Fortnite comes along, that user base will be gone in a drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Because the cycle of generation upon generation it's not 20, 30 years. You might have a kid between 12 and 18. So you've only got a 6-year cycle for these kids. And like you were saying about, was it Burberry or Balenciaga? They were bringing out the NFTs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what they're doing is they're preempting the 20-odd-year-olds who are going to go and buy their products by giving them free NFTs. You're probably right, but I would like to see the user base decide the way this goes.
But I mean, it's the big brands that we're talking about that are going to influence this. So Nike, you've got a pair of Nike trainers in both games. Nike are only going to want to sell you that once, surely, to have the original, to keep the price up.
Well, Nike are going to want you to wear your Nike NFT.
Across every game.
Across every game, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe their power will actually sway this.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm sorry, because like what I was thinking, because the whole point of this is to allow the user to own what they have, and then obviously be able to earn. So in order for them to own what they have, and then it's theirs, and then not be able to port it anywhere, at that point it's just it is yours, but it's still under control of the company.
Yeah.
And if it is an NFT, if they do go down the route of an NFT, what would possess them to create an NFT on a blockchain specifically for Epic?
There's no point.
They're going to have to rewrite a blockchain.
Yeah.
The easiest thing for them to do is to pick Solana or pick Avalanche, Algorand or whatever it was that we spoke about the other day, or pick Polygon, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to do it. And because they'd have to maintain it. The wallets they'd have to rewrite. Whereas they can just go out and reskin the Phantom wallet on Solana and use the Solana network for the NFTs. If they do that, it's impossible for them to...
Yeah.
So what they could do is say, right, there's the Deadpool skin for my character. It's then up to every other game in the metaverse to allow that skin to be added to the character, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about in my way of thinking it? If each one of these games has a shop, for want of a better word, and one of those departments is a Nike shop, but they're all linked into one centralized Nike warehouse.
Yeah.
So that one pair of shoes is in Nike's warehouse, accessible by all the different games.
Yeah.
Once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
But then you can use it across everything.
Yeah.
Which is what the actual manufacturer would want.
Exactly. We said this about what's that streamer called? The one that's got the pink hair.
Ninja.
Nearly called
Blue.
him Piranha. Ninja could have a one-of-one NFT issued by Nike. So he's got Nike attire,
Yeah.
and he goes and plays Call of Duty, and he goes and plays Fortnite.
Yeah.
Everybody in the metaverse is going to know that is Ninja.
Yeah.
Except that you can go to the Nike store and buy not the same, but a replica version of Ninja. So then Ninja will see you and go, you're a fan.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a signature, whatever else it might be.
Yeah.
So Ninja keeps his gold version, but then everybody else gets silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that not a good idea?
It'll work, yeah. What could work is just have do you know how you have like for the NFTs you have like hashtag 0066 version?
Yeah.
Have a hashtag 001 for Ninja skin.
Yeah.
But the signatures would work, yeah. But I just thought it was funny, but yeah, it'd work. But
the signature thing is a great idea because signatures used to be a very valuable thing that you could buy. People would have books, didn't they, in like the 50s and 60s, and they would go around and get the Beatles and the Rolling Stones to sign these books, and you can now buy them in auction houses, you can get for 500 or 600 quid, you can now get a book of signatures from people like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
Really?
It's peanuts.
Yeah.
But if you had Ninja or the Rolling, let's say you go to the Rolling Stones concert, and there's 50,000 NFT tickets for it, and you go, and as your reward for going in the metaverse, they give you a Rolling Stones signed NFT from the date and the time it was there. At some point in the future, there's going to be a Rolling Stones fan that's going to want to collect every metaverse performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the cool thing would be is you'd buy that NFT, and you would be able to go and watch that performance
Yeah.
only with that NFT.
Mm.
So not only do you get the ticket, but you get to see the live performance. And it might not sound great now, but in 20 years' time, you'll be able to look back at a performance of the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
it ever comes
The
off.
real world has already started to do that because
Yeah.
Coldplay concert we went to, on each evening they had a special T-shirt that were manufactured. So rather than having all the dates on the back,
Yeah.
it was specific to the date that you'd gone. Because Rebecca bought one.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that the idea is that now people are going to want to the one that they went to, but
An
all the others as
identifiable,
well.
unique moment
Yeah.
that you own.
Yeah. Thought it was quite
Yeah.
clever.
It is quite clever. I'm very disappointed that you went to see Coldplay in the first place, but the T-shirt sounds like a great idea.
You know, one of those bucket list items, isn't it?
Did everybody around you smell of soil and have, like, little dyed hair? And
They
stuff
were
like that?
very polite, is
Were
the
they?
best way I could sum them up, yeah.
Did they all have violas and banjos?
They didn't all. No, they didn't all. They were wearing very, very comfortable attire. I did notice that. They'd been to outdoor bound shops.
Anything else you want to add
A
about
lot of fleece.
about this before Julian tells us about the clothing?
What, of the games?
Yeah.
I think one point I would make is, like, if you like the genre of game you have, that would in a way determine like how much utility you would get for these tokens and NFTs. Because the grinding games, although they might not be fun, are probably the best utility you're going to get in terms of Web3 because of the fact that MMOs and these RPG games where everyone's pretty much unique player,
Mm-hmm.
this is where like NFTs are unique. All this like Web3 crypto stuff is unique. So in order to have a genre where everything about your character is unique, is then where the maximum utility you're gonna get of this, like of the tokens and NFTs and all this. Like Fortnite, yes, you can get skins and you can earn that skin as an NFT. However, like there is an app I know called like Buff, where basically you get like daily challenges and they give you buff tokens and you can buy like Amazon Prime or Netflix like
Cool.
gift cards. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they did something like that, but they gave you tokens. Like in Fortnite, you kill 10 players or
Yeah.
you burn 100 structures, and you get given like 100, epic tokens, or whatever,
Which you can use to buy
skins or
skins
NFTs.
or whatever else it might be. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be good branding because they have V-Bucks already. Have a make a V-Buck. I mean, obviously, if they use it, they have to make their own blockchain, so it probably wouldn't be that a good idea. But they would give you some sort of crypto or
Yeah.
some sort of like thing in order to do these things inside of the game to play. That's the only way I'd see them utilizing it and a play to earn aspect of Fortnite, let's say,
Yeah.
or rather than just being NFT, like
Yeah.
integrated with NFTs.
We should probably do again because there's a lot more I could say about this.
Yeah.
For example, in MMOs you can get a title.
Oh yeah.
So if you're the first person to ever do something in a game, you could be called Julian the Pioneer.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're the first person to ever do that.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Let's say you kill a dragon.
Yeah.
I don't know dragon names. You could be called
Slayer.
exactly. You'd be
Yeah.
called Julian the Dragon Slayer.
Just
Okay.
Slayer? No.
Well, you've got copyright issues with the band there.
Ah. Yeah.
So I think the Dragon Slayer would be better. Or in
Okay.
your case, you could be called Julian the Coldplay attendee.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
So you've got NFTs in terms of skins, but titles. But I think we should probably do a special about this. Otherwise, we're going to be
Yeah.
here for another hour talking about
Yeah,
this.
it's something you can definitely talk about easily.
Now the next one is actually linked to this, and I think you'll enjoy this one because this is your area.
Really?
Yeah.
Go on.
This is the now what I've called this is it's not called Netflix, it's called NFT Flix.
Oh,
which I'm going to coin that term and copyright it,
yeah.
so nobody can take it off me.
Ha.
So can you go-
Netflix.
So can you go through the Netflix?
Yep. So
article for me, please?
Netflix is NFT experiment with Love, Death, and Robots. Could be the future of TV ratings.
Oh yeah, I do remember this now.
Yes.
I were all over this.
I know you were.
This is like Gogglebox
Like
NFTs.
white on rice.
Yeah.
Okay, there was no highlighting. However, I'll just skim over it.
It's not a very long article, so and I did actually highlight it, so it's disappeared. Then
So I'll just read out key points, which I find. The company's recent non-fungible token experiment proves it's still in the digital disruption game. They released a series of 9 NFTs on OpenSea, which is the Ethereum-based marketplace for NFTs, and it represents a scene from Love, Death, Robots, like the show which they have.
right.
I think it's their show they make as well. Yeah. Okay. So it just talks about the actual show. So apparently, so in the episodes, or in the last episode of the season of the show, they had hidden a QR code, on some billboards in the
In the TV show, yeah.
yeah. So I don't know what that did though. I just hid them. So Netflix isn't likely to make much money from the promotion, a somewhat unique approach that veers away from the gold rush mentality that is typified much of the activity in the NFT space. So even the most popular Love, Death plus Robots NFT on Exit Strategies, an episode about 3 robots examining the aftermath of humankind's demise, is available for the floor price of 0.002 ETH, which is $3.36. So it doesn't seem like it's going too well.
It's not about.
No. Not
It's
about
not-
the value, is it?
It's not about
It's
the
about the
value
fact
of
that
this.
they're doing it. That's
Exactly.
true. So a byproduct of the blockchain promotion, which draws to a close on September 24th, has been an unofficial ranking of season 3's episodes, with sales revealing which one fans love the most. This has inadvertently offered the television industry a new way to gauge the true ratings of shows in the future. Huh. So here it shows the sales of the NFTs. Okay. So 27,000 Exit Strategy NFTs were sold. I'm not gonna read them all out, but it lifts off how many were sold per episode.
Mhm.
So they announced they're releasing a 4th season of the show. So it basically saying it could do more NFTs in the future. But yeah, interesting that you can rate a show based off of how many NFTs were sold. That's an interesting idea. That.
It is. There's boundless possibilities for this.
Mm.
And my favourite one is, if you're a season ticket holder, an online season ticket holder for Barnsley,
Niche.
niche but important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, yeah.
Now, if you watch all 46 matches
Yeah, you
As a
deserve
li-
a medal.
as a live stream, you're going to need a medal. I was
Yeah.
going down that route.
Yeah, you are.
And so there's lots of angles, but the two I like, the one which is if you watch all the episodes of a show or all the sporting events, you are given an NFT.
Mm.
Okay, and this goes to one of the very first ever podcasts we did when we talked about the fact that how do you show you're a real fan,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be of a TV
Oh
show,
yeah, with the football tokens.
football
yeah.
tokens. You could be a season ticket holder to a TV show, a
Mm.
sporting team, a music person. Now, you're the Barnsley supporter here.
Mm-hmm.
How do you demonstrate your loyalty to that club at present?
Mm.
To who?
To your other Barnsley FC supporting friends? Are you one of these people who say, I've been supporting this club since 1981?
Only
Or-
if backed into a corner.
Or if backed into a corner?
Yeah.
Or are you one of the, well, obviously not at this present time, but do you say, I've had a season ticket for 19 years,
Yeah.
whatever else it
Yeah.
may be. So at the minute, it's all hearsay,
Yes.
Mm.
This gives you the ability to prove,
Yeah. which is a big thing now in the football world. Have you seen that now? What would have been in my day decried, they all turn up to the games in kits that were like 10 years ago. You would have thought, you're a bit tight, aren't you? You can't even afford the new one. Yeah. Now, it's a sign that you were there.
Yeah, you're there, yeah.
The retro kits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Martin just said as well, I don't know if he just said it, but it said, I think it's only about time that FIFA bites the bullet and turned their FIFA Ultimate Team into NFTs. So he's talking about FIFA NFTs. So alongside with this, football tokens, things like that to show your support. I think this is in the game as well, the FIFA game, buying NFTs of the players.
Correct.
As well as just being, supporting the team, supporting the players as well.
No, I agree.
Which makes it really good. Yeah.
And the good thing about NFTs is, of course, they show the entire history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying before about the Ninja signature or the what was that? The Rolling Stone signature. That signature was given to you on that date at that concert. And with you, the season ticket. You buy a season ticket, you can be given a kit NFT.
Yeah.
You can be given a badge that says, 2022, 2023 season ticket holder. And in the metaverse, imagine you've got a great big stadium. Barnsley are playing at home to Port Vale or whatever it might be. You're watching that online, and you're in the metaverse with other Barnsley supporters that live across the world in Australia and Canada, and they can see all of your achievements.
Yeah.
Now, let's say you went to watch Barnsley beat Man United in was it the League Cup?
FA Cup, that was.
FA Cup, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you could sit next to somebody in the metaverse that was at that match.
Yeah.
So immediately you've got a conversation piece with another virtual person for you to talk about.
Yeah.
And of course, obviously, forget the characters or whatever. At some point, it's going to be your face and their face. You can actually have a real human interaction. So for football clubs, I think this is amazing. To prove your loyalty and show your loyalty. But what do you think about it? What TV shows or what type of TV do you think this is going to benefit?
Series, I would imagine.
Series.
Yeah, it's going to get a lot of kickback for them.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'd actually do it, though.
You might not have to do it. It might be automatic.
But, okay. I'm going to say my only concern is it's open for manipulation. Because if you play it and just leave the house, do you get the NFT sent to you just because they've tracked the fact that you've had it playing?
Yeah, but they might start in the future to make television programs more interactive.
Yeah.
You've seen that with Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that NFT, the Netflix thing was really cool. That.
Yeah. Where I constantly try to get him eaten by bears. My objective is not to get him through. My objective is to kill him. And then the cat one, there's nothing better than seeing the cat fall off the ladders or get electrocuted. Have you seen that one?
No.
Yeah, it's like Tom and Jerry. He's got to climb a wall.
Oh yeah, it is very cool.
It's very cool. But in the future, you might not have that option of putting the TV on and walking out. You might have to interact with the show.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So.
Like CPD updates that I get on the videos, because I've tried to do that, an hour of CPD to keep CPDs like continuous professional development.
Okay.
I have to do so many hours a year to maintain my accountancy pedigree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get sent through videos that I have to sit through and watch, and I've tried to just set them off playing, but no, because after 10 minutes it comes in with a question of what have you just learnt. So it's the same idea as what you're saying.
Yeah.
I have to endure that hour.
Yeah. So they could do that, and you might get the NFT if you watch the season within a certain parameter. So if you watch the season within the first month, you might get the gold NFT for it and things like that. So I can see lots of benefits to Netflix of doing this. And also, don't forget, Netflix are working on, they've got a game platform. So if you've got a Netflix subscription, not many people know about this, as Michael Caine would say. You can go onto the Netflix website and actually play games with your subscription.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they don't tell many people that.
No, so it's something being developed for a big launch.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this is great news.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think this is really good. Involving TV shows and NFTs or media, which people. I mean, because like Netflix, if they're incorporating NFTs and it's a platform which like everyone uses, going back to the point of involving everybody people who do know crypto and NFTs and people who might not know crypto and NFTs into the space of, oh, you like this TV show. Well, guess what? We're involving crypto in this now. Maybe not everyone might like it, but I think it's a really good idea in order to try and get people to, utilize and be involved in, crypto.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
The last topic we've changed today. This is question time.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it hasn't got Fiona.
Yeah.
You'll have to put up with us.
Okay.
So we've had, I think, 4 questions this week. I think Julian's got a couple. You've got one.
Yeah, I've got one. You've got one.
I've got one. So do you want to pose Julian the first question? Is it
Yeah.
Julian?
So the first question is, how do I know who I'm trading with?
Difficult question, but as usual, I would go down the safety route. I would always trust the big brands.
Yep.
Like if I'm going to buy a Porsche, and I'd like to buy a Porsche in my lifetime, I'd buy it from a Porsche authorised dealer.
Yeah.
You'd never buy it from a knockoff, would you?
No.
This is exactly the same. So I would deal with people like Coinbase, Crypto.com, the big players.
Yeah, I totally
Would be
agree.
my advice.
I totally agree. There's no point in trying to use a DeFi platform when you're a beginner.
No.
Best off going to the Barclays Bank of crypto
Yeah.
and buying it from there.
Just like my story. Started with Revolut.
Exactly.
Didn't understand it.
Exactly.
Went to Crypto.com once I got a bit more knowledge.
Yeah.
But still a big player.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Next question, I think, is for you.
Yes. So the question is, who backs it up? So I assume this is crypto and like the prices of cryptocurrencies
Yeah, basically, what foundation is there for the price of crypto?
based on crypto. Yeah. So it's a free market. So it's the people involved in the market who buy and sell who control this price, or they call it in economics the invisible hand, which is basically the idea that it's basically a psychological idea.
Market forces
Yeah.
determine it. Yeah.
Market forces, invisible hand, things like that, where it like moves the market. But it's just not invisible. It's not a hand or centralized thing, whatever. But it is the idea that it's an invisible force controlling it. But it's basically just everyone in the market who's controlling the price by buying and selling it.
I suppose it's the same way as the price of the pound, the euro
Yeah.
against the dollar. I mean, there's no difference. There's still the market forces. You've got the import and export between America and China and whatever. That forces the price of the yen up or the dollar up, whatever else it might be. It just works in exactly the same way, doesn't it?
Yep. So it's the people.
Yeah.
That's basically the answer. It's the people who use
Set the price, determine the
Yeah.
price.
exactly.
Okay. Next question.
Shall I ask it again to Julian as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Has Julian got the third question?
yes.
Have I been left with the hard question then?
Well,
No,
I mean,
surely not.
Surely not.
should we point out who's done these questions?
Have I stitched myself up already?
You have done this.
Okay.
Is it definitely me next? Because I
It
just
is,
need to
yes.
get back in the room. Because you lost me when you mentioned this invisible hand thing. My mind went in a totally different direction.
Well, Liz Truss she's being directed by an invisible hand.
No, mine went somewhere different. But I don't think that thought can get us banned off YouTube.
No.
Anyway,
So the question is, it's not really a question, but something to think about, maybe even a problem, is there is no physical crypto. What do you think about that?
is that a question from The Adventures and Stevie V? Do you remember that?
I don't.
Dirty Cash, I Want You, Dirty Cash.
Oh, I like that song.
Lovely song that
It's a
is.
great song. No, I think this refers to the fact that the chap who asked this question, Vanadi from Norway, basically he can walk around with Norwegian crowns in his pocket.
Yeah.
Take them out. If there's a power cut, he can pay in cash,
Yeah,
etc. So he's saying there is no physical
Krona.
digital krona
Yeah,
that you can put in your pocket. It's all on your phone
yeah.
or at the other end of your credit card.
I think he's right, but I think about 92% now of all currency that's used is digital anyway.
Yeah.
I think that positives that came out of COVID, people don't want to use cash anymore because it is dirty cash.
Yeah.
And I think younger generation probably don't use it at all.
I use cash sometimes if I have it.
Very, very rare.
Yeah, I always use my card pretty much all the
I
time.
mean, he's got a very valid point in if there's a power cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Now, in Gibraltar,
Yeah. That's going to be a huge problem.
which is a crypto-friendly jurisdiction
Yeah.
on the south coast of Spain, there are regular power cuts.
Yeah.
And if you go into a shop and try and buy a loaf of bread and a bottle of milk with a credit card, you can't use the pounds in your pocket or the euros in your pocket. Not because they're not legal tender, but because the cashier can't add up.
Yeah.
So you can't buy anything with the physical cash anyway, whether you want to or not, because it's dark, there's no lights.
Yeah.
The till won't open because there's a power cut.
No.
And they don't know how to add up £1.75.
Yeah. Or use a calculator.
Or use a calculator. Because it's solar powered, there's no lights, it's not charged.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and they can't use the mobile phone.
Must be in English or something like that as well, so they can't read it.
So the issue is, he went there, didn't he? He went there.
Yeah.
So the issue is that even in cases of power cuts with physical cash,
It also happens.
it also happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
hit me with my question.
your question. So, where the F does it come from? This is crypto. How is it made?
How is it made? Okay. So crypto assets are normally associated with a blockchain which has been created for a certain purpose. I'm not going to go off in a difficult
No, I'm not going to ask you.
angle. There's two types. There's proof of stake and there's proof of work.
Yep.
Both of these secure the network, either through validators and staking your coins or through miners who produce blocks which add those transactions to the blockchain.
Mm.
Both of them are rewarded with that particular cryptocurrency. So take Bitcoin, for example. The best way to explain Bitcoin is that the miners secure the network and are rewarded for processing those transactions with Bitcoin. Now, if you look at Visa and MasterCard, if you go into a shop and you pay £100, that's actually a bit more now for petrol. If you pay £500 for your tank of petrol,
Yeah.
okay, when the cashier puts that through, £2.50 will be given to Visa or MasterCard. That's their miner fee
Yep.
for securing the Visa or MasterCard network.
Yep.
Mm.
So their reward is the £2.50. If you put your transactions through on the Bitcoin network, so you send me half a Bitcoin, for example, that $25 or $20 fee is what gets paid to the miners to secure the network, on top of the miners getting rewards for processing it, etc. So it's not generated out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
It's connected to either being rewarded for validating the network on proof of stake or for processing the transactions through the miners.
Yeah.
And that's where the invisible currency comes from.
Yeah.
Mm.
Where you've got MasterCard then that are doing this authorization on their own,
Yeah.
in effect. If it passes through Bitcoin, is it one person that's going to authorize this?
No.
One miner?
It's multiple blocks
Yeah.
created across multiple miners. So, for example,
Right.
it's
So
not-
massive security then.
yes. So, for example, if there was a power cut in London where the MasterCard services are,
Yeah.
the entire
Goes down.
system goes down.
Yeah.
So around 20 years ago in Manchester, there was a fire in the centre of Manchester and it stopped all credit card transactions for 36 hours.
Yeah.
Bitcoin doesn't work like that. Bitcoin is based in every country.
Yeah.
The miners are pretty much in 50, 60 countries around the world. If America went offline, the Bitcoin network would still be secure.
Yeah.
If
And
America
they're all independent, all checking the same sort of things,
Correct.
but independently.
and they're all checking it with everybody else who's available.
Yeah.
So one country goes down, 20 countries go down. If Europe went down, the Bitcoin network would survive.
Yeah. So if you take the Bitcoin out of the network and just call it a network,
Yeah.
it's possibly the most secure, well-administered network it's possible to have at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Correct. It's the greatest, most secure network of computers that has ever been created by mankind.
Yeah.
And that's also why proof of work will probably always have the upper hand over proof of stake.
Yeah. So again, we're back to my bugbear, aren't we? If you put the name MasterCard in front of that rather than Bitcoin,
Yeah.
everybody's happy with it.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that's answered everybody's questions.
I think so.
Um,
Very in depth.
Anything anybody wants to add before we call it a day?
No, I
I
don't
thought
think
more
so.
on it. I think
Alright.
that's good.
Well, we've made our like and subscribe graphic.
Yeah, that looks like it took a long time. That's
Yeah.
burst the budget for September right there.
It's green and red.
Oh, no.
If you put the cardboard 3D glasses on,
Yeah, but it's green and red.
it stands out.
Think of the people that are colourblind.
Okay, well, it's brown and black then.
One job.
Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Click and subscribe.
Like
And I hope our outro video now works.
is works. Yeah, we have a very, very nice outro. But it hopefully won't freeze.
Hopefully it won't
so-
freeze.
Thank you everyone for watching. Yeah.
See you on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Goodbye.